Morning. All right. Um, so as Nilankur has introduced me, firstly I would like to thank Nilankur, okay, for inviting me over here um, to Museum of Goa. Also, a special thanks to our the person who has done everything for Museum of Goa, Mr. Subodh Kirkar, and I believe he's going to be here in a few minutes time. Um, a brief to start about myself. This is Akhilesh Bhisso here, and I'm an engineer by profession. Passed out from Goa College of Engineering, as he said, in 2017. In terms of civil engineering, when I was passing out, and I felt there was a void that had to be filled. Okay, because normally engineers passing out, all right, it becomes a monotonous story after that. We don't really try to innovate in terms of technology, but as we've gone by the years, in the last 7 to 8 years, there has been a lot of technological development that takes place in the world, and in the country of India, wherein there is a lot of scope for development. But if you consider it with the countries abroad, okay, they have already ventured into technologies which are almost 10 to 15 years ahead than what we are using over here, and that is something which has always um, made me passionate to drive this particular field in terms of technology and make it technology driven. When we speak about virtual reality and augmented reality, these are two different aspects, but a similar field of technology as we come to know about. To start about, virtual reality basically is an artificially generated environment which we develop using a computer softwares. All right, and the term comes into existence because you get to experience and immerse yourself using special equipments which I've got over here. Maybe in the next few minutes I'll have two of you to come up and have an experience about this particular technology. um, I need a raise of hands over here. Anybody has witnessed virtual reality before? Okay. How has your experience been? Oh, okay. Okay. So,
I've used it for medical device.
oh, nice. So you are a doctor by profession? Okay. And that was in terms of creating training modules probably for the different kinds of surgeries or
As well as a diagnostic instrument that I have invented.
okay.
So I have special interest in this.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
be watching it closely.
Thank you so much. And Nilankur.
Just art installations, seeing different arts.
Okay, fine. So we've got today's session divided into two parts. Okay, but I'm not going to venture into medical terms. We've got one to start with in terms of real estate, and the second one, which is going to be very interesting, it's in terms of virtual estate. All right. Um, Now, this is the particular equipment that we have. All right, this is the VR goggles, and we've got the two controllers, which you actually can immerse yourself into, and have an experience of a real time world, which is not practical. Okay, it's not existing anywhere as of now, but we block you out of the real world. As I've said in my earlier slide, we block you out of the real world, and we immerse you inside the virtual environment. All right. Now, coming in terms of real estate, when we design spaces, we've got certain amount of challenges in terms of planning and scheduling of the project, in terms of material management. I won't go into a lot of technical aspect, but I want to share a short story with you. Okay, a story of my family, my grandparents. Okay, and as you know, Indian women are have a dream of having their own houses, right? And that is what a dream was of my grandmother about 20 years back. Okay, my grandfather working in customs, after retiring, he decided to build a dream house for his beloved wife. All right, and this is about 20 years back. We are not talking about 3D models, we are not talking about advancements in AutoCAD. I still have the plan. It was done using black pen and a paper. All right, and they don't have any background about construction, they don't have any background about designs. Architect, they hired an architect, they hired an engineer, they were placed in Mumbai, and they would just remotely, and there was no communication in terms of photographs being sent, in terms of videos being shot. Like today we have a site going on, I can shoot a WhatsApp video and I can show my client probably, and he can get a fair bit of an idea about how it is taking place. 20 years back, it wasn't happening, and it takes how many years? 2 years, 3 years for a nice villa to be coming up. At that point of time, about 3 years time it took, and once my grandmom steps inside, what she does? Hey kid banla. Okay, this is, this is the, see what happens is, when you design a space, you don't have any idea about how it is going to come up. Okay, you basically have no idea, because if you look at this kind of plans over here, I mean, you are crazy if you know how to understand them, unless you are an architect or an engineer. And basically your situation is going to be something like this if you go through the plans. All right, it is not possible for a normal person or a common man to understand what is happening inside. Of course, the how and where your bedroom or your living room is going to come up, but you've got no clue in terms of spacing, you've got no clue in terms of how it is going to come up. What happens next is, they start having a discussion. So the game starts like, no, the architect should have told us, or maybe the engineer should have told us, or maybe the contractor should have told us how big the room sizes are going to be. But once it is built, it is built, and after that it is another investment if you want to change. And once you build a house which has taken about 2 or 3 years time to build, it is very difficult for you to come back and do changes right in the next following year. And trust me, it took about 15 years and for them to renovate the space again. And by the time I was a civil engineer, so she now knew that she has a person in house who could make changes. Anything happens next, this guy is to be taken care of. All right, but what happened was, I already had something known as virtual reality along with me. So I said, okay, this time let's not make that mistake which has been done in the past. What we will do is we will design a space in such a way that you get to have a real time experience. Okay, now I'm not talking it because of my family. I talk this in terms of a general case. Okay, people ask me what is the price for virtual reality. Okay, and I tell them it is always going to be a price that you're not going to pay if you were to build it in real time and make a change. You get the statement? It is always going to be lesser than what you're going to invest and then repent for not having made the space in that particular way. So where does this technology come into place is when you have a space coming up and you are not present to see how it is taking place. One. Second thing is basically when you have not got any idea about architectural design, but you want to see how it is going to look, how it is going to turn up, how you are going to place your furniture. You have a pre-hand experience about this particular aspects being taken care of, because once it has been done, there is no going back. In VR, what we can do is we can design the space, and you can have a look at it as and how you want. You can take a tour of this entire VR environment inside the VR, and it is basically for you to have a satisfaction of how your house is going to come up. It helps you in terms of planning this particular space, in terms of getting what you want. Because for us, when we invest in a house, it is not just an investment, but it is the investment that you make for a life, like any other investment that you're going to make. So I want two people over here, okay, 2 or 3 people to come over here, and you can have an experience about VR. If people who have not seen the VR, okay, yeah, please. So you just can give me 2 minutes, I'll switch on the VR, but you can come up. You want to come? Come, sure.
not likely to get this kind of a chance.
Yes, sure, sure.
Are they going to see this plan?
Yes, yes, that's what I'm trying to show them.
Yeah.
No, so if you can have a look about this plan, we are going to. Uh, I'm going to show you about the living room that is being designed over here.
Okay.
Okay, so that they have an idea about how actually it has come up.
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay, you can wait first.
you're coming. Okay, you wear this. Okay, I'm going to switch on the program. It's going to take about 2 minutes time to load. Okay, you can keep it otherwise with you. And what I'm going to project over here is the exactly same plan which has been developed into a 3D. Okay, so you'll get to see about this particular design inside. Lose one minute, 1 minute. Shall I set it for you and give?
Yeah.
So she's going to be standing over here. Okay, she's not going to be moving anywhere. This is because in VR we have to set a boundary. Okay, come. The advantage of this particular technology is wherein you can stand at one place and you can take the tour of the entire space from here. All right. Are you able to see the design inside?
Yeah.
And how is it looking?
I can see all the 360 view of that.
Basically, this is the exact space that I had just shown about a couple of minutes back. Okay. Tell me one thing, if I show this particular design or if I show that particular plan, where am I in a better position to understand what is going on?
This one.
Right. Now that doesn't stop over here. She's standing over here, right over here, and she can, move basically to any place where she wants from here. All right. So I can teleport her to the entire space. okay, at from one point, okay, she just needs to turn into direction where she wants, and I can teleport her from one place to another. Madam, can you just turn around? Yeah, or in the near the garden where you can see. Okay, and if you can just turn about, yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. So if you can see around, there is a nice sky on top. It's basically a realistic environment which you can have a look at. And this is a custom made design which you can feed, which you can show your clients. Okay, this is how the technology has been developing. This is how the technology has developed. And trust me, it almost reduces a 20 to 30% of your planning time in terms of, and also your construction time. In terms of real estate, in terms of interior design, it becomes a hassle for us sometimes to manage with the materials, to manage with the furniture, to manage with every single aspect that is going, because it's a very minute detailed work that takes place when you design a space. And if you have something like this, wherein in advance you can plan, wherein in advance you can have a look at, okay, you can make changes. Supposing tomorrow she doesn't want that particular sofa over there, she can change the texture, she can change the orientation of that particular furniture that is being placed over there. She can literally change the lighting if she wants to. Okay, and this is happening in a world which has not been developed. This is happening inside the computer. And why wait to get the space ready? Why not do it in advance? Okay, and in the places wherein yeah, so you wanted to have a look, come.
Do I need to take out?
Yeah, you can take them.
You also want to see.
Yeah, please. All right, and from it is fascinating that you can be present at one place and you can actually take the tour of the entire place. Okay, you need not even walk.
So now you talked about transportation.
Yes.
There's a figure of a lady sitting on a sofa.
Yes.
Can I be put over there?
Oh, of course.
And then I look the other way.
Yeah, why not? From here,
Do I need to turn?
you can turn. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is how she's seeing it from
Yeah, this is how she's seeing it from here. All right. And you get the view of basically any place you want to see from any angle. It is exactly like how you would be there inside this particular room. And how about me fitting this particular room inside the VR? It's exactly the same thing. The only thing is he's present in the real world over here, but we blocked him out of the real world. He's not able to see anything from this particular room. Am I right, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Please.
How much time does it take on the program to change the things
Um,
and then show it
we
again?
we okay.
Or you can take the questions later.
No. It's good that it's becoming an interactive session, because otherwise it would have been very monotonous. Because if we keep the questions at last, then it becomes like a theory session for me. Well, if you have this particular design ready, okay, and I'm sure this particular design has come up with all the agreements that have been made by the client and the designer. We expect about 15% of the changes to take place in this particular design. All right, and it is not going to take more than a day and a half's time. It's maximum about 2 days if you have any major changes to make. Okay, it's basically going to take at most 2 days, but we normally try to get it done within a day's time, because you don't want the client to be waiting for a pretty long time. The site has to come up pretty fast. It has to the work has to progress. You can't be delaying our clients, and that's why the technology is being developed over here. At the same time, when you design the space for VR, you can also have a walkthrough being made, like a video which you can have in your computer, on your device. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Done?
Okay.
Okay.
You cannot see from start to end. Full, sir.
What is
Only
it?
room
Yeah.
we have seen now.
Yeah.
But I want to see from full house, like
So
start
we
to
can
end.
in fact do the entire house tour also for you. Okay. So what happens is, otherwise if I feed in the entire design, then I have to have the right environment to for the people to go along that particular space. So anybody else would want to experience this particular thing? Please.
So is this off the shelf or did you make the VR?
No,
VR set is
no,
not.
no.
Which
The
company is
this is from Meta. The
Meta.
VR is from Meta.
Yeah.
I think you'll have to take off your glasses. Sir.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you can't use with glasses?
No, you can.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's not my interest. It cannot be blurred for me. But
Is it blurred?
yeah, because of the glasses. Can you adjust?
Okay, one minute. Yeah.
Wow. You can't adjust, can you?
Yeah.
Without glasses. Okay.
Just see.
What's it? Wow.
So you can share your experience, live experience, if you.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. As if I'm standing right in the center of this room and lady sitting next to me here. I can literally feel, I wish I could put my hand on and feel the texture, but rest of it I can see very, very well with the guitar there and the doors coming and the depth. I can perceive the depth. The clouds up there are really in the sky. So fantastic. Very good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure. All right. Are you comfortable about getting to know about VR now? Okay. How many of you all have played Pokemon Go? Or heard about Pokemon Go? Okay. Okay, fine. Pokemon Go is one. Um, I think that there's one more thing that has come up now. Google has done, wherein you can place an animated 3D object on the floor. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Have you all seen that? So your people over here are accustomed and known to this kind of things happening in the market. Okay. How about your Instagram? When you take a selfie on that Insta camera and you place those monkey faces and all of the.
Snapchat types.
All right. What is it? Virtual reality or augmented reality?
That I think that will be augmented. It's adding up to it.
Yeah. So what is the meaning of augmented reality? Augmented reality is basically you augment something into a real world. Okay. You augment that particular object into a real world. Say supposing I'm having this space over here and I'm not having this coffee table right here. Okay. And I want to see this particular table right here. If you have a mobile phone, if you just scan this particular space, okay, there are certain applications, there are certain softwares wherein they've got a list of objects, okay, for you to have an idea, a rough idea about how, if you place it over here, it is going to look. Okay, now I've taken an example of coffee table. I can take an example of 3D scans, okay, which basically can scan the entire space, and if you want to transfer it to another place, you can actually take that 3D model and augment it into that space wherein you are planning to come up. And the same thing is, if I take this particular model and if I go on to the site wherein the space has not yet come up, I can actually place this space over there, and we can have a walkthrough about from that particular space, wherein you can actually see the environment from inside, and you can also see, you can also have an experience about the space that has not been developed yet.
So a lot of chairs are empty now. In augmented reality, we can fill with people. Like with
That is something interesting which you spoke, because what COVID has done basically is, it has also helped a lot um, in terms of effective team meetings. Okay, today if I am placed in Goa, in MOG, and if we have somebody placed, say, in Paris, okay, we want to have a team meeting, and if we both have a VR system available with us, okay, we need not make a Google call, Google Meet, but we can basically wear our goggles. Okay, we have something known as what is it? Meta avatars. If you have used metaverse, we can create our characters inside, and we can have a team meeting like this. One. Second thing is, I can use my laptop inside the VR. The latest ones of Meta Quest, I think 3, and of course Apple Vision Pro, which has come up. You need not have a desktop with you. You can have a virtual desktop. You can carry it anywhere. It's like a virtual space that you can be working with. You need not have a table placed. You need not have a keyboard. Your fingers do basically the sensing part. Even over here, the only thing is I've switched off the finger options. But if I switch on the sensors or the gesture motion sensors over here, you would basically be able to type inside the VR, and you can have an experience. That is how the VR technology has been growing. It is not just in terms of design of spaces, for us to experience how it is going to look, but effectively making use of this technology in terms of how you operate a space, not being present over there. All right. Now we have something known as mock villa, again the same concept which I've spoken before, and these are basically a lot more useful for the builder sector who invest in making such kind of similar villas in a row, or row villas if you have. And what they do today is they have an entire villa ready in a physical presence. Okay, now what that happens is it's a lot of investment in terms of getting that particular space ready, and that is where the VR technology has started to tap into. Okay, why not build a mock villa inside the VR, which is much more economical, which is much more time consuming. You need not run behind to get the work done, but it is basically a virtual environment that you can create, that you can curate, and you can have your clients come experience. Yeah, if they like it, you go on to the next villa, make it as per their requirement, and then you keep on adding or multiplying and do the mathematics as and how you need. Basically, if you look at VR, people ask me what is the cost of doing all of this. Okay, and I tell them it's a one-time investment. You don't have a maintenance after that. It's a one-time investment which you make, and then you can replicate the designs. You can replicate that particular technology into similar designs as you proceed. Okay, and that is where we can summarize about real estate, about how it has been helping the builders and the architects and the designers in terms of generating the designs. Now there is something which we need to venture into, is a completely, what you can say, a completely out of real world, and it is known as virtual estate. Can someone tell me over here what a virtual estate, what a virtual estate could be?
Could be anything.
Yes.
Could be anything.
Something about fantasy world?
No, it is real but unreal.
It is a real but unreal. Okay, can you please elaborate on that?
Unreal is not existing physically.
Okay.
Real is.
Okay.
Unreal is of the same thing, images or anything in people. Something like imagination.
Okay, fine. Anybody else? Don't mind me over here. Okay. Yeah.
I think I might know the answer. It's a virtual estate could be something which is like a real estate but in the virtual world. I think Meta tried to do it where they wanted to bring people to buy this virtual estate and even pay it as much as 40 pay outside for a plot. So you could buy a plot or a space, something like that.
He was somewhere close to, you were also somewhere close to, and let me summarize about this particular uh, term which I used. How many any artists over here sitting? Semi-artist or full artist? You can please raise your hands. All right. Any other profession over here?
It's a 3D animator.
Sorry?
3D animator.
Okay, 3D animator, fine. Okay. Who is the artist over here? Janice? You were the artist. Janice, tell me, what is that? Okay. Janice, tell me, how many years have you been into the field of art?
Basically all my life, but professionally, I think for the past 3 years.
Professionally for the last 3 years, okay. So you are a fine artist or something like that?
Yeah, sort of a traditional painter.
Okay. And you have an art gallery?
No, I freelance.
You freelance. You wish to have an art gallery?
I do.
Okay. What is the investment that goes into that?
I haven't really thought about it.
We can make, okay, yeah, we can of course ask Subodh, and that's the reason why I wanted him to be over here. Could you please invite him? Yeah. Okay. Can we just take 2 minutes by the time he comes?
Maybe he's busy also, he will come.
Okay, fine. So when I spoke about virtual estate, yes, as Sir mentioned over there, it is about making a workplace inside the virtual environment. Okay. Basically, a virtual estate is, being made for helping the society, for helping the people. Okay. If you have, and I'm speaking in terms of artists over here, and it could be for any other industry if they have something to display. Okay. Artists over here spend a lot of time in terms of creating the arts, in terms of working really hard in over the certain concepts that they make. I'm not a lot into art, but I've got some friends who work with artworks and all of that and sell them. The major, what you can say, challenge they face is, where is your gallery? You are an artist, where is your gallery? Huh? Where is it? Website? Tell me one thing, if you were to make the entire website of MOG, or you want to take a tour of MOG, what would you choose? Right. It's something which is similar to what I'm coming to. Okay. For an artist to make the entire art gallery is not possible right at the start. Right. For an art gallery to be presentable, you first require a space. That is an investment. You require the interiors to be done. That is an investment. You need a space, you need an environment for you to store your artworks. So please. And I was talking to them about something known as virtual estate, and I asked them what a virtual estate is. Okay. And I'm talking specifically from the point of artists. Okay. An artist would always want their work to be showcased somewhere. Okay. Of course, we have our websites today, we have our social media wherein you can store, you can have basically the 2D works that are going inside. Okay. But from deep from somewhere, deep inside somewhere, we always want it to be inside a gallery, and that is where we help the artists in terms of making a virtual gallery, which is an investment they make for a lifetime, and then they can in fact utilize the space, and they can feed and keep feeding according to the artworks that they are being generating. Of course, what they would want to do is, even if they have made a hand art, okay, they would first want to convert that into a digital copy, and that is where we come into play. We can basically help you make an art gallery, something like this, inside the VR. Now, the advantage of this particular technology is, if I'm having an art gallery placed in Goa, it is very difficult for me to explain it to someone sitting in Portugal. And if I'm in Portugal tomorrow, you know, I'll only be able to show them the photos. But if I have the VR along with me, and if I have the gallery inside the VR, you can basically take your gallery from one place to another. Okay, you can basically have a same environment wherever you go, and you can have people see this particular gallery and take a tour anytime, anywhere, no restrictions, not much of an investment, not much of, you could say, um, time that will be taken. The other part we are going to take care of. The artwork is what you need to prepare from an artist's point of view. Of course, if at a point of time where an artist reaches a stage, like how Mr. Subodh Kerkar has done, he's built this entire place, he's curated this entire place. That is the time wherein, they are in a position to, okay, fine, we can physically make this particular place ready. But till then, if you want to sell your artworks, or even if at this particular stage, if he wants to take MOG from Goa to Portugal, yes, fine, we can take that, we can do that. All right, we can basically fit it inside the VR. We can have this particular rooms and this entire tour of this place, placed into the VR world. And that is where the technology, the concept of virtual estate has been developing. People can come to you, people can come to your office, or you can go to other people, you can go to exhibitions, you can display your artworks. Okay, some of the artworks can be in your exhibition stalls. The rest of the artworks, if you are not able to store them over there, the one that you have got in the main at the entrance, the one which you just said has been covering the entire wall now. If you don't have place for them to store, please use this. Why not? You can have this entire space ready, and you can feed the artworks over there. And that is where the concept of virtual estate, the concept of virtual galleries has been developing, and has been, coming up a lot in terms of into the market. And we are over here to, help the artists, to, help them grow. Okay, because we don't want the talent to be stored within us, but the talent should be showcased somewhere. Talent should be showcased to the public. They should be showcased to one and all, and, need to be appreciated for the hard work and the time that they invest in. um, Thank you so much. All right, this was, about what and how virtual reality has been helping people.